lovely, lovely. Man, I would like to introduce you to my co-host. Give it up for Hannah Kim. So lovely. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. There's so much going on in the world tonight. We need to just jump right in. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a dark world these days. But congratulations to the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray for winning 2020's Car of the Year. Give it a round of applause. It was awarded this by Mom's New Boyfriend Monthly. I hate you, Dan. You're not my real father.
In the Democratic primary this week, a scuffle of words broke out between the Sanders and Warren campaigns.
Boo.
AKA, Mom and Dad are fighting. Okay, I don't care who started it. Figure it out, because I'll be damned if I have to go live with Grandpa.
Oh, no. I hate Grandpa.
He gives the weirdest hugs.
Yeah, it's always touching. Yeah, I hate Grandpa. Yeah, well, okay, across the pond, the entire Russian government resigned on Wednesday, paving the way for Vladimir Putin to consolidate his power. Now, thankfully, everyone else can save on transportation home by just stacking into one another, you know?
Russian dolls.
Yeah, easy.
In geology news, scientists are saying a meteorite that crashed into Australia in 1969 contains the Earth's oldest material. Here's how old the material is.
How old is it?
When a scientist said hard as a rock, the meteorite responded, "That's what she said."
Oh!
Oh!
So old, yeah. All right, well, as of Friday, Microsoft stopped supporting Windows 7, their operating system that still is running on millions of computers around the world. So, would you like to restart this joke now, remind you tomorrow, or ignore?
Ignore. Let's move on.
Okay.
Police in Georgia are looking for a man who broke into a Taco Bell, cooked himself a full meal, and then took a nap before fleeing. The police aren't looking for him because he's in trouble, but because his stomach now contains an explosive device.
Ah, yeah.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, it's a poop joke. Okay, so...
Poop jokes, people!
Let's move on.
Subaru unveiled their new Forester this week at a Singapore auto show. Yeah,
Wow.
It is got a striking paint job. It's got 20-inch wheels, leather upholstery, a top-notch audio system, and also, if the acronym is correct, this car fucks.
Yeah, that car is so fucking hot. Okay. Virginia Governor Ralph Northam declared a state of emergency ahead of a pro-gun rally scheduled for Monday. In any other country, armed people descending on the Capitol and threatening violence would be a coup. For Virginia Republicans, it's how they celebrate Martin Luther King Day.
Yikes, the South. Okay. Well, so a giant tortoise is returning to his home on Espanola Island after helping to save his species by fathering 800 offspring in a breeding program. Now, honestly, I'd run off to an island too if I owed that much in child support.
That tortoise fucks.
Yeah, that tortoise fucks, yeah.
An Iowa man has requested that his divorce proceedings be settled with a sword fight between him and his ex-wife's attorney. Unfortunately for him, his ex-wife just hired a new lawyer. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You divorced my client. Prepare to die.
So savage, so savage.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Well, a newly created Space Force unveiled their uniforms yesterday. Here they are right here. Now,
Nice.
forest camouflage uniforms for space. Yeah. You know, isn't most of outer space black with a few shiny stars? If they really wanted to nail it, they should have reused the Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation outfit. Yeah, that's General Jackson if you're nasty.
We are a part of the U.S. Space Force.
Thank you. Give it up for Bill.
On Thursday, a man plugged his PlayStation 4 into a monitor at the Portland International Airport and started playing. Security made him stop, but not before he rerouted a red eye to Chicago through the Mushroom Kingdom.
Hey, it's late night special! What a great monologue. Did you enjoy that monologue? Lovely. Our writers,
something.
we learned something.
Yeah.
Our writers are they're just the best. So Hannah, thank you for joining us this week. What do you got going on in your life?
Okay, well, this week I've been eating so much pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah. So we got pizza before this.
Life of Pi. Has anyone ever been to Life of Pi?
Oh, yeah.
Over on
Good
Williams?
stuff.
Yeah.
That is the best happy hour ever. It's $5 for a margarita Stonefire pizza.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then I had pizza last night as well at Pine Street Market. And we had pizza on Sunday when we hung out.
Yeah?
We hung out on Sunday. We're friends.
Yeah, we are friends
Outside
in
of
real
this,
life.
yeah.
We played Triply. Has anybody ever played Triply, the card game?
Wow.
It's,
Yes, it's so good.
Yes.
One person, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, we played. I actually made a TikTok video
Yes,
about it. I'd like
yeah.
to share it all with you right
We're with the
now.
youth.
Yeah,
Let's
we
do
are
it.
with the youth. TikTok, here we go. Yeah, that's my TikTok. Give it up, give it up. Yeah, those are my housemates. Josh won. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we-
love Tripoli.
We played with like nickels.
Real coins.
So we had a lot of nickels.
Nickels, dimes, quarters. The people at New Seasons did not like us.
Yeah, I was like, could you change this $5 bill into nickels, dimes, and quarters, please?
Yeah, I asked for rolls and they were like, "Sir, we don't do that." And I said, "This is the friendliest store in town. Do it."
Do it now.
Yeah. And they said, "Thank you."
Yeah.
Yeah. So playing cards, pizza. I watched the movie Little Women. Did anybody watch Little Women?
Little women.
It's fucking good.
The people
That's a
remain
blurb right there.
They
Jay
were-
Flewelling, it's fucking
It's
good.
good. It's good. I mean, I'm really attached to the '90s version. I mean, Winona Ryder, who could do better, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. They did a lot of time jumps to kind of, because it's kind of a story that we all know, but yeah, it was rad. I mean, you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen any of the movies.
There's-
I didn't know there was more than
There's
one.
4.
Okay.
Okay. There's 4.
Yeah.
One
Seems
in the
like kind of a
30s.
lot.
Yeah, there's one in the 30s,
Yeah.
one in the 40s, 90s, of course, and then just this modern day version.
Yeah.
Yeah, go watch Little Women, people. It's
Do it.
good. Beth does die. Spoiler alert.
What?
Yeah, and then also I started watching The Circle. Has anybody started watching The Circle on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
a
Okay,
little more,
finally.
yeah,
God.
fine, God.
Yeah, strike 2. Finally hit her home run. Yeah. So The Circle, it's a reality television show on Netflix where the people are holed up in an apartment and they only interact on a social network with the other people. And some people are catfishing. Some people are trying to be themselves. It's wild.
It's basically Black Mirror in
It's
real
Black
life.
Mirror. It's
Yeah.
real, yeah.
I mean, to me, that sounds extremely disturbing. It just feels like, oh, this is like the worst of humanity, being addicted to social media and like appearance. Like, let's make a show and profit off of it. Like, that feels really gross to me.
It is gross.
Okay.
And it's gross that you can just watch 8 episodes and just like, I was supposed to go to work.
Yeah. But now I'm caught in the circle.
Well, yeah, and it's kind of funny because all these contestants are like, I'm good at social media, and you know, there's all this drama and all these things happening, but then part of me is like, this person has not left. Like no one's seen anybody. They're just like inventing these personas. And a lot of, okay, I'm just gonna say a couple things. The
Spoiler.
2 catfish people are like catfishing each other. And it's just like, it's good. I don't know, whatever, it's bad.
Do you consider yourself good at social media? Like, are you a good social media?
No.
Except for the
I
TikTok.
mean, the
TikTok was amazing.
Top form.
Yeah.
I mean, but that was it.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean, whatever. It is a thing. I wish I could just get rid of it all. But we're getting to a point where it's if you don't have it, then you're weird.
Yeah.
And I've had people who have like gone to job interviews and they're like, well, we couldn't find you on social media. And then they're kind of like,
Big Brother needs you to be on social
yeah,
media.
to work
Yeah.
at this Walmart. And it's like,
Yeah, totally.
yeah, so I don't know. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. Any other news?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing's going on. Just the pizza, really.
Well, good.
Yeah.
We have a fantastic show tonight.
Yeah.
We have Amanda
Oh, yeah.
Arnold is here. Stand up. Yes. this brand new band. They just formed, Sick Leave. Does anyone know them? No, they don't.
They're new.
But
They're
we're
new.
excited
Some
about
people.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also have people from the Fertile Ground Theater Festival. Yeah, we have lots going on. So I think that we should just jump into it. But before we can get to the actual show, this show just doesn't happen, people. Like, the lights don't just turn themselves on. It takes real American dollars.
That's right.
And sometimes we have to get sponsorships that we're not proud of.
But we're proud of this
We
one.
are proud of this one.
We're
So,
proud of
ladies and
this
gentlemen,
one.
give a word from our sponsor.
Did you know that coffee is Portland's favorite pastime after karaoke and butt stuff? And it's the only one you can do on a bus. Hey! But sometimes you can't leave your house early enough to get that good PDX roast. And now you don't have to. Introducing Doug. Doug stands for dropped out undergraduate. And he is the latest in coffee technology. Doug is a fully realized animatronic being that lives in your house, in your closet, and gives you the authentic Portland barista experience. You can watch as Doug makes your espresso without once making eye contact. You can Instagram his latte art, which is both poignant and political. Looks like Doug made Bernie Sanders as a polar bear on an ice cap. That's gonna get a shit ton of likes, Doug. And you can marvel at his tattoos, which form a secret treasure map on the back of the Declaration of Independence. And like every Portland barista, we guarantee that Doug is both hotter than you and has better taste in music. Hey, Doug. I love this coffee shop music we're listening to. What is it?
It's pretty abstract. I don't think you've heard of it.
Oh, try me.
No, I literally gave musical instruments to pigeons outside, and that's what we're listening to now.
Ooh, authentic. And Doug knows coffee. From Americanos to lattes, he can make it all. Hey, Doug. Can you make me a caramel mocha latte with no soy, extra whip, and sprinkles?
You can go fuck yourself.
Just because he can make it doesn't mean he will. So, go and get yourself a Doug today. And just remember, unlike a real Portland barista, if you don't tip, you'll be sorry.
I'll kill your whole family.
Thank you.
Hey, give it up for our sponsor! Good job. I've got to get one.
I need one.
Have you experienced a snobby barista?
Yeah, all the time.
All the time?
No, not just baristas, bartenders, waitresses,
Yeah.
people walking down the street. It's everybody, so condescending.
Ugh.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like being condescended to by a barista is sort of like
A rite of passage.
a rite of passage,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Once I was trying to kill some time in San Francisco and I needed some Wi-Fi and I had spoiled for choice for
Right.
like coffee shops and I walked in and I was like, okay, I'll order this, gave him my money. I was like, what's the Wi-Fi password? And this guy straight up was like, we don't have Wi-Fi so that people can connect. And I was like, fuck this place. And I took my coffee across the street and got on my phone, yeah. Yeah, that was great. Well, are you ready for some music?
Yes.
Are you all ready for some music?
Yeah.
They're brand new. They're a duo. They are indie punk rock is what they self-describe themselves. Give you them the warmest round of applause for Sick Leave!
in leather seats. You travel in an airlock and you never feel the heat. You're living on the other side of Wall Street. And the only things that matter are the poker chips you stack, and the mansions and the supercars, and never paying tax. Your contracts create poverty, it helps you to succeed. You're living on the other side of Wall Street. You're living on the other side of Wall Street. You're living on the other side of Wall Street.
Yeah! Sick leave! Sick leave! Nice. Thank you. You're dismissed. Hey, give it a round for Sick Leave! Sick Leave. That was great. They will be back to entertain us again. That was wonderful.
That was great.
That was good. I feel like that was a rallying cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
If it was kind of like Les Miserables, but like for now.
Right, yeah. And I feel like if I could sum up the song, it's just fuck neoliberal capitalism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck capitalism.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you for that sponsorship, though, Doug. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was good. It was really fun. It was kind of like this like warm
Yeah.
voice. I kept thinking like Fraggle Rock, but I'm into it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, it's not as abstract as like the pigeon music that we were hearing before, but I still liked it.
I liked it. Hey,
Yeah.
did you like Sick Leave? Yeah. Check them out. Buy all their stuff. They're going to be back. They're going to close out our show, and I'm pretty excited about that. But
Yeah.
up next is time for some comedy. Does everybody like stand-up comedy? Well, we are very excited about our next guest. She has performed at All Jane Comedy Festival. She's all over town. She's one of Portland's best and brightest. We're really excited to have her on Late Night Special. Please give a big warm round of applause to Amanda Arnold!
Look, it's my face. It's weird. It's like, would you like to look at a picture of me and me? You guys ever have somebody pay you back money they owed you and drugs you don't do? You know what those become, right? Drugs you probably are gonna do. I was a little late into the show tonight, and I found out tonight that, so I used to do a lot of drugs, and I don't anymore because I'm old and I'm scared of dying. Perspective gets weird around 40. The only thing more mean than slipping somebody that does not smoke weed an edible is convincing somebody that does not smoke weed that you have slipped them an edible. I ate a cookie tonight in my kitchen. Just eating a cookie, and my brother comes in, because I'm 40 and have 3 cats, so of course I live with my brother. He comes in the kitchen, he's like, "Are you eating a cookie?" And I was like, "I know, I said I was gonna work on my fitness goal." And he's like, "No, dude, there's so much weed in that." And I was like, "No, it didn't taste like it." He's like, "Yeah, my friend makes really good ones." And I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, dude, do you have a show tonight?" I was like, "I have 3 shows tonight." And he's like, "You're fucked." So for the next 30 minutes, I'm walking around the house, trying to squeeze out the high to gauge like how high I am, going outside, getting some air in my face. And then finally he's like, "Dude, I was just messing with you." So mean. So it's 2020 now, which is weird. 2019 was awesome. I got to do a bunch of cool stuff. I got to go to Singapore, and I got to film a travel show and do stand-up comedy in Singapore. Anybody ever been to Singapore here? Yeah, the hottest place on earth. It is, though I shouldn't say that it's the wettest place on earth. It was 101 degrees and 108% humidity. Not raining. How is it more than all the humidity when it's not raining? It was just like being in a terrarium. It was like living in a fat lady's boobs. That's like, it was just like sweaty and gross. I got to fly 18 hours straight there. It was sponsored by Singapore Air. So I got to fly from San Francisco all the way to Singapore. I'd never been on a plane for 18 hours. It was like one of the first flights that they did this on. And so I got the bed. I got to got the bed, the little tiny bed, and I was raised poor. I've never even had a real white seat. Like, I have a white seat, but I never got to sit. Anyway, so that was a terrible joke. You're welcome.
Yeah.
It's not even something I normally say. So I'm excited that I get this bed, and we get on the plane. We do some filming, and then everybody's going to sleep on a plane, which is weird. They like turn out the lights, and people are putting in earplugs and in pajamas and shit. And it's on a plane. And the lady comes up to me and she's like, "Can I make your bed?" And I don't. Seems weird, right? I was like, I can probably figure this out. She's like, "Are you sure?" I was like, I'll give it a shot. I couldn't figure out how to lay the pod down. She's like, "Just let me do it." And I was like, "All right." So I lay down, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Pull up that little comforter. I'm like, I'm laying in a bed 30,000 feet above the earth somewhere. And it's not that comfortable. It's not that comfortable. $6,000 flight that I'll never be able to afford again, and it wasn't that comfortable. So I came home after being in Singapore, and I got to go to a real classy place, very exotic location. Billings, Montana. Have you been? Oh wow, you guys aren't gonna love this joke. It is the most depressing looking place on earth. It looks, if you're looking for your stepdad, your real dad, somebody else's dad, an ex-husband, a felon, they're all in Billings. It was the dullest looking place I've ever been. There was no pretty city. You know, when you go and you're like, it's a little dirty. No, it was refineries. And I asked, what are you guys refining? And this old guy at the bar was like, oil and animals. I was like, all right. So this is Billings. All the top shelf drinks, $5, because you're in Billings. It looked like a John Mellencamp song, you guys. It was the craziest thing. So we go to leave, and snow comes. Like, it just starts snowing. And I'm not scared to fly. No, I am scared to fly in the snow. Just doesn't seem like you should. I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna stay a couple days until the snow goes, and then I'll fly. And they were like, no, it's just here. You're gonna have to stay the winter if you're gonna wait. I'm like, oh, in Portland it just comes in. And they're like, no, it's gonna snow for months if you just want to move here. And I was like, good Lord, no. So one of the guys was like, hey, just eat an edible. Full circle, you guys. He's like, eat an edible and I was like, I did so many drugs growing up, you guys. I know I don't look like, I did a lot. I grew up in Portland. One time I smoked crack on accident. Because I thought it was methamphetamines. Anyway, so I get on the plane and I'd eaten the bottom half of this little teddy bear. And about 45 minutes before, just ate his legs. And I get on the plane and I'm like, oh my God, it is really roomy in my aisle. This is very spacious. And this guy said, I'm in the window seat. This guy sits down next to me and I just start smiling at him. Not like smirking, I'm like teeth, smiling at him. Just looking at him. And he's looking at me like, what do you want? And right then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so high. The flight attendant comes up to me and she's like, ma'am, have you read the card yet? Instantly, I think she means a birthday card. I was like, whose birthday? She's like, no, this is the emergency exit aisle. Are you prepared to help your other passengers in the event of an emergency? And I say, absolutely not. No, I am not prepared for that. I didn't get a discounted seat. There was no training online. No. I was like, besides, if the plane crashes, we're all gonna die. Then this guy's like, nope, stop, don't say that. So then the pilot comes on the overhead as this is all happening, and I am so high, and he's like, we're having technical difficulties right now. I'm sorry we've been sitting on the tarmac so long. We're gonna unplug it and plug it back in, and then we're good to go. And I was like, is it a Comcast router? He's like, also, there will be a flight attendant coming down the aisle. She'll have a garbage bag. If you have any peanuts, peanut products, candy made of peanuts, anything like that, please throw it away. I'm your pilot. I'm highly allergic to peanuts. No, this is not happening to me right now. No, I am too high for this. My pilot's allergic to peanuts? Is he 8 and his name's Aiden? No, nobody else looks scared. I'm like, all that's gonna take us down right now is a whole troop of Girl Scouts? No. So I guess that's how I learned that choosy terrorists choose Jif, you guys. I'm Amanda Arnold. You guys have a good night.
Amanda Arnold. pilot allergic to peanuts. That's like,
Yeah.
that's a conflict of interest.
It is, because becoming a pilot is really difficult. You have to have like really good eyesight, be tall, be like, I don't know, fit, high IQ.
I don't know about that last one.
I think that's true. I think
Really?
it's true.
You have
Yeah.
to be fit to be a pilot?
I feel like you probably do. You don't see like really frail pilots, do you?
No, I would not like that.
I would not like that either.
I'm anemic. I don't know, like that sounded so bad. Anyway, yeah. One time, well, going back to coffee shops, I ordered. I used to like get toast, and like one was butter and one was peanut butter. And the woman at the thing was like, "Okay, yeah, they'll have to make it for you because I'm allergic to peanuts." And I was like, "You work in the food service industry, and you're allergic to peanuts."
Then don't be there.
Thank you.
This is like a weird thing to take a stand on, but okay.
I know, but like, if you're like, she was like really deathly allergic to peanuts,
Yeah.
but like, I mean, anything else besides food. I mean,
Yeah. That's pretty intense. Because did you know that peanuts are actually legumes?
Yes, I did know.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
we
cool.
all knew that.
That's great. That's great. I'll show myself out. I thought that was a fun trivia to share.
No, it's
Whatever,
good.
I don't care.
Anyway, okay, so
Let's move on.
moving on, we've got a really great guest. Thank you. Something amazing coming up. The Fertile Ground
Yeah.
Festival is coming up. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest. Big warm round of applause to Nicole Lane. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I'm going this way? Hi. Nice to see you.
Nicole
Oh, okay.
Lane. Nicole Lane, Artistic Director of the Fertile Ground Festival. Give her one more round of applause. Wow, it's happening. It's happening soon.
You've got one too.
I've got one too. Artslandia. Ooh. Free. Ooh. So tell us about the festival.
So, the Fertile Ground Festival, we're in our 11th year.
11th
year.
year.
Yeah, last year was the big 10-year anniversary.
Okay, yeah.
So basically what Fertile Ground is, there's really nothing like it out there in the universe, in my imagination. But basically, there's two parameters on it. It is got to be work generated by Portland artists, and it has to be new work. That's it. It's not curated. It's not adjudicated, and so basically, it is a festival. It's all about Portland artists, and it's across.
Not anyone from California.
No. And so,
I struck a chord.
yeah, there was a chord there. Well, there may be some people who moved up here, but they live here now, and so we
It
must
better be
welcome
longer
them.
than 1 month.
So yeah, but basically it's everything. It's everything from comedy, but
Circus
there's a
arts?
lot of theater, but circus arts, aerial arts. There's a lot of puppetry this year.
Nice.
There's
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's actually like a couple of puppet
Yes.
theaters plus like people who are doing work with puppets in their show.
I'm into that.
There's music. There's musical theater.
How many
there's
venues? I mean, this is
giant.
it's giant. Yeah, I mean, this is just like the program, right? There's
yeah.
just so many shows.
There's not
in
even
there.
room for pictures.
There's
There's no pictures. We couldn't
Just
afford
leaves,
it.
yeah.
Really, just leaves.
So how many shows are there?
There's 75 shows.
Wow.
75 shows.
And within those shows, I mean, it depends on how you count, between 120 and 130 acts of creation is what I call them. Because like one show can have many acts of creation within it. And then it's at 45 different venues across Portland. And there are about 45 producers.
45 venues.
So it goes over 11 days. Yeah.
And people can purchase like individual tickets to shows or like a pass, right?
Yeah, so there's a festival pass, which is the best deal. It's before the end of the year before, so by December 31st, it's $50. Now it's $70. But you can see anything that you can get into,
Wow.
basically. At this point, it's a really great thing to really support those artists because you can buy individual tickets through all of the artists. Fertile Ground's like an umbrella organization to support and educate and promote the coming together of people to see new work as opposed to just like, hey, I'm doing this new show, you want to come to my living room? So
Is it like kind of commonplace for like an artist to be in Fertile Ground, create something, and then go on to kind of refine it or take it other places?
absolutely. So we've had I think it's like 75 shows in the past 10 years that have gone on to do extra things, and I think we'll be I think there'll be a special person coming on in a
Oh,
moment.
yeah, we're gonna see a preview from one of the shows.
Who is this incredible human being, has been all over this continent, and started her shows in Fertile Ground, and then gone on to do Fringe festivals, and so we really try to create a space that's safe for people to try out new things, and it would be great. It would be absolutely amazing. I was just talking about this backstage. If there was more comedy, improv elements in Fertile Ground.
Yeah.
So I've been talking to Stacey Halal about this for many years, and
It's been on my radar. I mean, it had like I feel like I always miss the deadline or whatnot. Because I have created 2 one-person shows, and like the last one I thought about it, but they're not new anymore. Ugh.
well, the one parameter is that it's new,
I know.
or you've switched some things out based on audience and information.
Okay.
But yeah, many years ago, Curious was a venue
Oh, okay.
for Fertile Ground shows, and
Like David Safford was.
David. He did his Liberace birthday party.
Yeah.
And it was a different orientation of the space, but it was absolutely amazing.
That was
So-
so now you're the artistic director. Did you start this festival?
No, actually, Trisha Mead Pankow is the person who started this festival in 2009 was the first festival. I was the associate festival director at that point. And then she had a baby, and then I kind of like.
She had a baby.
And then I just like.
R.I.P.
And then I just took it on.
And you're like, "Ah." Okay,
Yeah.
so it's been
Oh,
10 years.
okay.
10 years that you've been guiding the ship this, and how has it progressed, and what are the things that you are like most proud of?
I am proud that every single year I'm amazed at what comes out of Portland artists. And every single year as I'm going through the submitted projects, it's just like, I say it here. It's like, I'm like a kid in a candy store because there's way more shows than I could ever possibly say. I usually see between like 20 and 27 shows a festival. But there's no way I can see all 75. That's
It's not
impossible.
physically possible.
It's not physically possible, and I feel badly about it.
Yeah, do you feel like because it's so independent, where it's not like, it's like you can bring your own show, it's not like it's under someone else's show, that fosters a lot of like creativity and like independence?
I
for
hope that
people?
it does. I hope that it does, because we don't produce the shows. The producers produce the shows.
Yeah.
We create the space. And what we do with those producers, some people have never produced anything before. They're like, hey, I have a really good idea. You know, like this great band that we just heard. They were
Yeah.
just like, hey, we're gonna do this band. Kind of like that, only different. But
But isn't that a concert?
well, but they could be in it. Anybody can be in
Okay.
Fertile Ground.
Okay.
I mean, a concert could be in Fertile Ground. There's not, we don't, it's
Okay.
not like that.
Okay.
But I was saying, it's like if somebody has a good idea, they don't know how to produce, they figure it out, we help them with resources. There's consulting going on, there's media and public relations workshops, there's box office workshops, there are introductions to media, and so, yeah, so it's
awesome.
basically like cultivating the next
Yeah, like baby producers.
baby producers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's big producers, but there's also baby producers.
Yes.
So from all the time that you've been with it since the beginning, is there like a highlight, something that you're like, that was the thing?
I feel like I'm being mean or selective.
No.
Because I try to like, it's the whole herd. But
Portland way, I know.
but really one of the best shows, something always sticks to my mind, and this was like into like 2000, this was a long time ago, probably 9 years ago. Shaking the Tree Theater is an amazing theater company in Southeast Portland.
Established, yes.
Samantha Vandiver, I'm gonna mispronounce her name every time, is the artistic director. They were in a different space back then, but she did like Grimm's fairy tales, and it was like this weird little, it was a space, and it had different rooms like and closets, and she used every single one of them to do a Grimm's fairy tale. And it was like you travel to the mall, and there was weird music in between, and it was really creepy and great. And I remember seeing an actor who I have great respect for. He had just got to town at that time, Gavin, and he performed Little Red Riding Hood, and he was both the wolf and Little Red Riding Hood, and it was in a broom closet and with an audience of 3 people.
Wow. I like
So-
that.
So I mean, it's that kind of freedom that
Yeah.
Fertile Ground offers and provides. Just like do whatever you want, and it's nobody's judging.
Yeah. That feels like a statement. Like, I am the wolf, like, I am the hunter and the hunted. You know what I
It
mean?
was such an amazing.
Like,
It was an amazing show.
Feels political.
Well, speaking of amazing, shall we see a preview
Yes.
from this year's Fertile Ground Festival? I present to you Eleanor O'Brien!
We're gonna do some theater now. Okay, so this is an excerpt from my show that is coming up called How to Really, Really, Really Love a Woman. And just to give you a little context, it's set 10 years in the future when we as a culture have switched to goddess worship. Which may or may not really be that important for this clip, but whatever. But now you know a little more than you did. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I'd gone to a cabin in the woods with a new lover. This is not a horror film, although it starts this way. So I'd gone to a cabin in the woods with a new lover who I met on Bumble, which some of you may remember was the first dating app to be exclusively female-driven. I mean, now, of course, they're all like that, but Bumble was the first that required women to make the first move. And I'd seen this guy's picture, and I thought he was attractive. He, kind of looked like an artist, and he wasn't holding a fish. So I swiped right, and we're a match. So I sent him a message, and we agree to meet up, and he has the most panty-dropping Irish accent you have ever heard. But what really turns me on is that he asks questions. I know, right? And he seems genuinely interested in the answer. No, he asks follow-up questions. So hot. Anyway, so he's a little younger than me by about 7 years, which kind of seems to manifest in how he asks before he takes my coat, and he asks if he can hold my hand. So at the end of our second date, I ask if I can kiss him goodnight, because I know I'm required to initiate any sexual intimacy, which still felt so weird at the time, but I did it. And his response was, "Thanks so much for asking. I'd love to. I've been wanting to kiss you all night." And he is an exquisite kisser. So he invites me to go with him to this cabin in the woods, and he makes it very clear he has no expectations. We can just have a wee cuddle, if you like.
Nice.
Right? Like, sure. And so we spend the first day just hiking through the woods, and telling each other stories and jokes and stopping to kiss in the rain. And he's full of compliments. He's like, "Your ass is smashing in those plastic trousers." My rain pants, come on. But he manages to make it sound genuine. And and we come across these hot springs, which are not built up. This is not Bagby or what. This is like the Olympic National Forest, so they're basically like warm puddles in the ground. But this means that we are going to see each other naked for the first time. So we both go off and take off our clothes, and I come back and I step into the pool, and he looks up and goes, "Welcome, Aphrodite." I'm like, and then that night we're hiking back to the cabin, and there's a full moon rising over the mountains, and we're just like, "Oh my God." Oh, just in awe at the beauty of nature, and super fucking horny. So we get back to the cabin and we just immediately start removing each other's clothes, but then he stops to light candles. Okay, and the bed in this cabin is built up into an alcove. It's like several feet up. It's like there are steps leading up to the bed, right? So I climb up on the bed, and I look down at him, and I say, I feel like I'm sitting on an altar. And he says, "Then let me worship." Instant orgasm. And I feel that sort of familiar twinge of discomfort because I've been hiking all day Hot springs, not the same as a shower, you know, but his face looked so eager. So I close my eyes, open my legs, and think, okay. And I just realized I'm not wearing underwear. And oh, hello, look. Okay, so I'm just gonna give the censored version. Okay. Right? I'm like, let's get this over with. And I hear this voice say, let him honor the goddess. I'm like, what the fuck? And I look down, and my lover's head is lowered in respect. I mean, his mouth hasn't even touched me yet. He's just sort of like hovering there, genuflecting. And he looks up. Is this all right? I just like to look for a while.
Oh, wow.
You have a gorgeous pussy. It's so many colors and shapes. She smells like earth, like soil, like life. I promise I'll be really gentle, but a bit rough. You tell me what you like. And I about orgasm again. And I realized that I have no words to tell him what I like. My voice is silent. But he just patiently strokes my thighs, and then he cups my pussy like a man taking communion. And if you want to know the happy ending, you'll have to come see the show. So yeah,
Oh my God. Wow, that was steamy. Hey, give one more round of applause.
How bad is it anyway?
Okay. So, when are your shows in the Fertile Ground Festival? What's going on?
January 30th, 31st, and 1st. That's the first weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then the second weekend is the 6th, 7th, and 8th.
And I've been told that you have 3 shows in the festival?
I do. So Dance Naked Productions is my company. I make shows about sexuality because I really believe in talking about sex and how important that is.
You don't say.
Right? I know. Well, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, there it is. So it's my show and a show that I'm directing called Naked at My Age. That is about a woman who is 70 years old. She became a prostitute at 55. And
Goals.
I'm telling you, right? I know. I'm like, there's still hope for me. And she's wonderful. And the show is very positive. And what I love about it is I haven't seen that many shows that are really like, give a positive spin on sex work. And it's like, there's no trauma. It's just, she thinks it's great. And she's been talking to me. She's like, oh, you should do it. It's really lucrative. I'm like, no, I'm in the theater. I'm fine. By the way, erotic massage in the bathroom after the show. Anyway. So there's Naked at My Age. And then the other show is a show called Sexology the Musical by Melanie Mosley. And her show is a one-woman musical about being polyamorous or ethically non-monogamous.
AKA a Portlander.
AKA Portlander, I know. It's so Portland.
Wow, so you have a production company, you're starring in one of the shows, you're directing, you're producing, you're doing it all.
I know.
How long have you been a part of Fertile Ground?
So the very first Fertile Ground in 2009, so here's why I am a huge fan of Fertile Ground, is because I had this idea. Okay, who here knows the book My Secret Garden? Is anybody? Okay. Yes. It's a book about women's sexual fantasies. It's not the kids' book. It came out in the 70s, and I was obsessed with this book. I just thought it was so fucking dirty and awesome, and it's like there's all kinds of fantasies in this book, right? So I had this idea of wouldn't it make interesting monologues to see people perform these, and that was the first year of Fertile Ground, and it was like, oh, I could just try it. So I threw my hat in the ring and I hired 7 actresses and we put together a show called Inviting Desire, a theatrical aphrodisiac. And what's interesting is that the whole concept for the show was we were going to turn this book into monologues, but all of the women in the show ended up writing their own original piece about sexual fantasies. And that kind of set me on a course because what I realized was, everybody has stories and creativity around sex. We just don't get to express it very often.
The
And-
locker room.
Right, if that. So that was the first Inviting Desire, and that was my first fertile ground 11 years ago, and I've done it, I think, 5 times since. So yeah, it's been a really wonderful thing. Yeah.
Well, Eleanor, you're a hoot. We love you. We love Fertile Ground. Thank you for the work that you're doing. But you're an actress.
Yes.
And we thought we would play a game with you, and involving you, the audience, as well.
Participation.
Yes. And this game is called Mad Lib Monologue.
Mad Lib Monologue.
Mad Lib Monologue. So we have prepared. There are 5 famous monologues from famous playwrights, and we are going to get words from our audience to Mad Libs into those famous monologues, and then on the teleprompter, you must perform one of those. Does it sound like a challenge she can do? All right, so I'm going to read you the 5 monologues, and you can choose. And audience, if you kind of have a persuasion for one, then just hoop and holler, and if you don't want one, then just don't do anything. Okay, number 1, Hamlet by William Shakespeare. Mild interest. Okay. Number 2, Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. Okay.
Just all of it.
Just Linda. Linda's
You will be
monologue.
Willie Loman.
Number 3, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Tennessee Williams Maggie's monologue. Okay, we're getting warmer.
Sexier.
We're getting warmer. The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde, Lady Bracknell.
Oh, Lady Bracknell. That's fun.
Okay. Private Lives by Noel Coward, Amanda.
Oh.
No one knows. Okay, great. Which monologue would you like to do?
Well, my mother played Lady Bracknell, so I think that would be appropriate.
The Importance of Being Earnest! Great. Okay, so audience, from you, we're gonna need 8 words, okay? So, number 1, we need a name. Shout it out. Frank. Like Frank's hot sauce.
Frank, yeah. Frank's hot dogs. That's
Frank's,
a thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Frank.
I feel like there's hot dogs as well.
There could be.
Yeah, there's a
It's a
restaurant.
synonym for hot dogs.
Number
Oh,
2,
okay,
number
yeah.
2, a body part. No penis.
Elbow. I heard elbow.
Elbow.
Yeah. Elbow, like.
Has anybody broken an elbow?
No.
Okay.
Have you ever had anybody suck on your elbow? Weirdly erotic.
Also no.
I've been told that the elbow is the one place that you could grab somebody where it's not harassment.
But it could be.
This
Is that true?
Yeah.
Also called a weenus.
That's right. And
What
you
is
don't
that?
have any nerve endings in it.
Oh,
You could get a
Culture
piercing
weenus.
there and it wouldn't hurt.
Okay, number 3, an interesting noun.
Rhymes with penis.
Noun?
Noun. Person? Aardvark. An aardvark. Thank you.
Aardvark.
Thank you very much.
Aardvark is the name of a show.
Secret
at
Aardvark.
Secret
at
Aardvark
Kickstand,
at
Thursday
Kickstand
nights.
Comedy. Yeah.
Also a hot sauce.
It is also a hot
Yeah, we're coming back.
Also an animal. Yeah.
All right, number 4, a group of people.
Backstreet Boys.
The Backstreet Boys.
Wait, that reminds me of when we were at that party and I was really high and I was trying to look up the Backstreet Boys and I typed in Backstreet Guys.
Yes.
Oh, that's very
Nothing.
I was like, why aren't they coming up?
Yeah, because I was divulging my crush on Brian and he
Oh,
had a
that's
heart
right.
murmur and
Yeah.
you were like, Backstreet Guys, I can't find it.
Where's Brian?
Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah. Okay, so Backstreet Boys, thank you very much, Balcony. We appreciate that. Wow, okay. Number 5, a past tense verb. Swam. Great.
Swam.
Yeah. Anybody swimmers over here?
I was a swimmer.
Nice.
I'd like to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have sex swimming anytime?
No, you.
You, Al.
Not me.
It's like, well, hell yes, of course I am. Come on.
Okay, 6, an adjective. Lugubrious. Please
SAT
define-
word.
Somebody has a word of the day calendar.
Yeah.
Can you
What
use
does
it in a
lugubrious mean?
sentence?
Like you're really downtrodden, like not about it. You're just like upset.
So sad. It's a long word for sad.
You know what it makes me think of?
Lugubrious sounds better.
You know that kind of saliva that's produced when you're deep throating somebody? I mean, you know what I mean? It's like lugubrious saliva. Anyway.
A lady never tells. Okay. Lugubrious, thank you, sir. All right, a family member.
Uncle.
Distant cousin.
Distant
cousin.
Great.
Yeah.
I have a lot of step cousins. Those aren't real.
Yeah. They're imaginary.
That's not a real thing.
No, it's not. Like my family's tried to make it real, but yeah. Okay, last one, number 8. Just another noun, a good noun. What was that? World peace? Concept more.
That is our goal.
What was? Cat. A cat. Great. There was a lot of discussion between the two of you. Like, should I say it?
Should I say it? Should I say it? Should I say it? Say it. Tell it. Say cat.
It was a cat. Cat. Yeah. The biggest thing. All right, you did it. All right. So, Eleanor, take your stage at the center of the stage, performing The Importance of Being Earnest.
Like,
Madness
really?
Monarch, Lady Bracken now. Give it up for Eleanor O'Brien!
Here's where that MFA comes in handy. All right. Well, I must say, Frank, that I think it is high time that Mr. Bunnaby made his elbow whether he was going to live or die. This shilly-shallying with the aardvark is absurd. Nor do I in any way approve of the modern sympathy with backstreet boys. I consider it morbid. Illness of any kind is hardly a thing to be swam in others. Health is a lugubrious duty of life. I'm always telling that poor distant cousin of yours that he never seems to take much cat.
Festival, go see a concert or
Several shows.
See them all. Yeah, get a pass.
Oh, like, do you guys know the show Fleabag?
Fleabag, yes.
Fleabag? Such a good show. That started as a one-woman play at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. So go to Fertile Ground. You might see the next Fleabag before it's Fleabag.
Words
Yeah.
to live by.
Words to live by.
Okay, well, we're going to close out our show with our musical guests. So as they make their way to the stage, you have been a fantastic audience. Thank you for sharing your evening with us. Yeah, give yourself a round of applause. Late Night Special, we produce this show every week. It is every Saturday night, new material, new monologue jokes, content bits, all the things. Bill is our head writer. Give him a big round of applause.
Hello. Love me or blame.
Yeah, Late Night Special. And we also air this show on the Laugh Lounge app. So if you don't have a chance to see it in person, then you can download the app and watch online for free. But without further ado, give it up for Sickly!
There is no destination. The only thing I got is what I think I know. Devastation, tribulation. I'm waiting at the railway station, holding my place in line, trying to clear my mind. Every step I take ends up in vain. Like the world has gone insane. Maybe it's just me. Aggravation, deliberation. I require an investigation to determine the location of inner peace. Trepidation, concentration. I'm impatient in the situation. I'm drowning in the stimuli of life. Try to run with my feet fused to the ground. I try to shout, but I just me. Maybe it's just me. Thank you.